Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It is Saturday, September 13th in the year 2025. If it's Saturday, that means it is a weigh-in day for me. So hang on, let's see what that scale did today. Well, I was watching the Buckeyes game and I got disgusted with them, so I decided to come in and get my video recorded and get it uploaded. Maybe it'll take my mind off of how disgusting the Buckeyes are looking right now. But I wanted to give you this weigh-in update. Before I tell you what happened on the scale this week, I want to go back and recap the last week for you. So last Saturday, I weighed in at 219.2, which was a loss of 2 pounds for the week. Now, the week before that was back in August. Gosh, can you believe it's the middle of September already? The end of August, I weighed 221.2, which for that week was a loss of 4.4. So you can see I've had some pretty good weight losses here over the last few weeks. The week before that, on August 23rd, I had a loss of 3.4. As you know, I've been following this whole foods plant-based diet. Now, before I show you my scale, I want to tell you that I was surprised by the scale today. In some ways, I was surprised. For some reason this week, I seem to struggle a little bit more as far as my food choices. And I'm not getting bored with my food choices, so it's nothing like that. But I just seem to struggle, and it seemed like I was a little bit hungrier this week. And after I show you my weigh-in, I'll tell you what I think that is. Anyway, I corrected things today as the day went on, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. So, if being full wise or being satisfied wise, feeling pretty good. Not about the football game. I'm not feeling good about that right now. Maybe in an hour or two I'll feel a bit better. But anyway. So let me pause here and I'll show you my scale and what the app said today. So 218.7, which is a loss of 0.5. Now, I wasn't totally surprised by that. I knew I couldn't continue at the pace I was going, having, 3 and 4 pound losses every week. That's just not, first of all, it's not the speed at which I want to lose. But I thought I would be happy with maybe a pound a week. When I saw that half a pound this morning, I thought, well, that's a little disappointing, gauged on what I've done the last couple of weeks. I thought maybe I could do a pound. Yesterday, when I weigh in every morning, so yesterday, it was looking like I wasn't going to have a gain at all. So I was surprised when I got on the scale this morning and actually showed a loss. And I know I should be happy with any type of loss. And I am. At least, it's not a gain. It's just not what I was really hoping for. So I told you that I was struggling, and I, as far as food choices and as far as hunger levels. So I noticed that I was hungrier in the evenings again. And that was a habit that I had. I mean, that was happening to me a lot when I was 100% on Weight Watchers. It seemed like I was always hungry. And this was the first week since I've started this whole foods plant-based diet with the 50-50 plates that I have actually felt hungry. So, and I think it was the difference in starches I was eating. Now, I've been showing my food up on my Facebook page. But I incorporated some things that, other than potatoes. It seems like when I eat potatoes mostly, I do really well. I'm not hungry. So, and that's one of the main starches that I am allowed to have. So, But this week I was incorporating more rice, and not the brown rice. It was white rice, which doesn't have as much protein as the brown rice. So I think that was one thing. Uh, and the only reason I ate the white rice is because white rice is better for my kidneys to process. And I was eating more lentils this week, and I was eating the red lentils, which again uh, aren't as dense in calories as like the brown lentils or the green lentils, or even the black lentils. But I had the red lentils this week. I did have some red lentil pasta, which was good. And that's the other thing. I was kind of eating more processed flour stuff. I was eating a lot of my homemade corn tortillas, and those are gone now. And I think in the back of my mind, the reason I was eating them is because I needed the freezer space, and they were they were taking up freezer space. So they're all gone now, and I don't intend on making any this week. I mean, they're great for a snack. They don't have a lot of calories. I am allowed to have corn flour or mesa masa. I'm allowed to have that, but anyway, I think that was part of the issue is that the foods that I was choosing, fewer potatoes, so I wasn't getting the calorie density that kept me so satisfied. The first few weeks I was on this, and also my protein was considerably lower this last week. Now, I have to control my protein levels. I can't have more than 52 grams of protein, which I don't ever reach that with all the grains that I'm eating. And that was the other thing. I was eating, for breakfast, I was eating more rice for breakfast instead of like oatmeal and things that have a little bit more protein and are a little bit more calorie dense. So, I kind of switched things around back to the old way again, on as far as the calorie density foods anyway. So I had for breakfast this morning, and I'll show these up on my Facebook page. I had a third of a cup of steel cut oats mixed with a third of a cup of old fashioned rolled oats, and with an apple. So I cooked the oats together, and then I added the raw apple after the oatmeal was cooked. And that kept me full until I had lunch. And then for lunch, I had a couple slices of my whole wheat pizza that I got from the company called Plant Strong. So I can have 2 servings of that for 5 points. And then I had a big salad with it. And then for dinner, I had a couple of potatoes with some green beans, and I'm full. And I don't feel the need to eat or have a snack. And it's I was finished eating by 5:30, which is what I kind of like my target. I don't like to eat any later than that anymore. I have to work tomorrow, so I'll be going to bed early. Probably as soon as the football game's over, I'll go to bed. And I have to be up early in the morning, so I'll get my lunch and everything fixed and breakfast fixed tonight. And I'm planning on taking pretty much the same thing I had today, except for not the pizza. So, hang on just a second. My computer's giving me a message here that I need to look at. My software program updated and it's asking me if I want to restart it, but I don't. There we go. I don't want to restart it yet. So anyway, I think that's what my issue was this week. And because I wasn't getting the calorie dense food, it was making me more hungry in the evening. And then I was having like a before bedtime snack, and that was a habit that I wanted to get out of. And so, looks like we may have finally scored a touchdown. It's 13-0 now. I'm feeling a little bit better now. But anyhow, I think that's what it's. I'm almost certain that's what was causing it. The other thing is that I noticed that my water intake was much lower this week. And that was probably because I wasn't eating the calorie dense food and I didn't feel the need to be drinking a lot. So the only problem with that, with my condition, is that if I don't drink enough water, then my kidneys kind of go into overdrive. It's kind of the opposite of what you would think. When I'm well hydrated, my kidneys are not working as hard. So, all those things are working together. This is what I'm thinking. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I don't have any medical experience in diagnosing these things. I'm also, oh, another thing. So we had pizza at work the other day, and I've been normally pretty good about staying away from anything that's brought into the office. I mean, not as much as brought in here, but this was a particular day where we had, pizza, and I caved. I remember a couple weeks ago I told you about when I had that reaction up in Winco to food. Well, this was worse. So I ate some pizza that had the meat on it and the cheese. And first of all, my blood sugar went kaflooey. I felt so sick to my stomach. I honestly thought I was going to have to call off work the next day because that's how sick I was. Couldn't get off the toilet. Um, and it's like my energy level took a crash, and I mean a crash. And this was by the time I got home at 5 o'clock. I think I went to bed at 5:30 that night because I just couldn't stay awake. And then I was up during the night because I felt so sick to my stomach. Now, mind you, this pizza place is a place in town here that I like, but and it's good pizza, so there was nothing wrong with the pizza. It was I have not had anything like that in 6 weeks, and when I had that and I crashed like that, I thought, okay, never again. The good thing about that is that now I know that when I travel back to Ohio, I dare not go off track of this plan at all because my body can no longer handle it. I mean, it was frightening. That's how bad it was for me. Like I said, I was so tired. I honestly didn't think I had the energy to drive home. So, and I only lived 2 minutes away from the office. So I got here, got into my nightgown, and I went to the bathroom 4 times, 5 times, and I got to go to bed. I can't do this. So I mean, it was still light out, and I went to bed. The thing is, I woke up at 3:15 the next morning, and I couldn't get back to sleep. So I just got up. But no, never again. I can't touch that stuff. So I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the dairy and the cheese. I don't know if it was the meat or what it was. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, but when my body tells me I gotta go now. So I know too much information. But the other thing I want to tell you, though, I had a real victory yesterday. So I had to go up to Bozeman again yesterday because about every 3 weeks I go up there to get my nails done, and I got my nails done last Friday, and on Tuesday one of them broke. So I went up there to get it fixed. And then I had to go to Walmart because I was out of a lot of stuff, and so I just had to go to Walmart, and it was payday, and I thought, okay, I'll just go get some groceries. Anyhow, I got that all done. Before I went up, though, I said to myself, you better take something to eat so you're not tempted to go to the bakery and get a fresh bagel or something to tide you over till you get back here. So your girl here cooked a couple potatoes and just the whole potatoes. I didn't cut them up or anything. Just put 2 whole potatoes in my little Tupperware container, and I took those with me. And I took an apple, and I took a cucumber. So on the way home, yeah, I was feeling hungry. I had a big bottle of water, or a cup of water with me. So I pulled out of Walmart, and I thought I better eat something because I'm starting to feel like, I need some food. I had breakfast before I went, but it was the time of day where I needed to eat. And I've been pretty good on a schedule. About the time I eat breakfast, I eat between 9:30 and 10 every day. And the type of foods that I eat for breakfast, it takes me a long time, because I have to chew them more. I had eaten my breakfast, which I don't even remember what it was, and I think I had some leftover rice on that day yesterday morning. But anyhow, I took the two potatoes, the cucumber, the apple. I ate one of the potatoes on the way home, and the apple and the cucumber, and then I was full. So and then I ate the potato last night for dinner. The second potato, I ate that for dinner, and it was the right choice. And because in all this time I'm formulating in my mind, okay, this is making me full. So I can do this in the car. So I know now when I travel to Ohio, I'm going to cook up ahead of time a bunch of potatoes to get me to, to Ohio. So that way and I also have decided now that I am going to take my own oats and have that in the morning at the hotels before I leave. That way I'm not tempted to have the hotel breakfast, which I have nothing against the hotel breakfast. Therefore, when I first got here, I was eating breakfast at our hotels every day, and I wasn't losing weight. So I just have to stay away from it because it's packed with sodium, and I have to severely limit my sodium intake. So, but yesterday I was real proud of myself that I was able to take that stuff, and I know now that I can take that in the car and be satisfied. So when I'm driving, now I plan on stopping for dinner a couple nights, but I've kind of planned in my head I'll go to some place where I know I can get a baked potato and a salad. I know the one hotel that I'm staying at has a Ruby Tuesdays right in the same parking lot, and I know I can get a baked potato there, and I can get a side salad with just a vinegar there. So that type of thing. So I'm kind of, or I can get a side of cooked vegetables, that type of thing, and request no butter on it. So I'm kind of formulating all this in my mind to things that I can do while I'm traveling. I'll also take some fruit with me in the car, but I usually stop at truck stops to get my gas when I'm traveling. So I'm able to find fresh fruit there. I always fill up my gas and then go in and fill up my big Stanley cup with water and ice. So I can pick up, fresh fruit if I need to, but my plan right now is just to have it all with me, so that I'm not even spending any money other than my gas. So anyway, I don't want to make this super, super long, and it looks like it is already. Half a pound this week. And since I started this, I want to go back because I really started it the end of July when I was first diagnosed. Let me see if I have that tracked here. Right, yeah. So I was diagnosed on like the 22nd, 23rd of July, somewhere around there. And so after the weigh in I did at the end of July is when I started this 50-50 plate and eating the half starch, half non starchy vegetables. From that day to today, wow, I've lost 13 point something pounds. 13.9, almost 14 pounds. So something's working. Anyway, that's it for me. I hope you're having a great day. I hope all of your football teams won this weekend. I hope mine wins. It should win big, but there's that. Every team has an off day, right? So I will see you next week with another weigh in, and hopefully this week I won't struggle as much. Have a good day, have a good night, and have a good week. Bye bye.